Hi folks, this is Kenny with Just the Right Angle, doing a little bit of political activism while I do some non-political errands here. I'm calling Representative Steve Womack's office. Of course, I am using the speakerphone and always have at least one hand on the steering wheel. I'm urging him to vote for Jim Jordan for Speaker of the House. Of course, the previous Speaker of the House was Kevin McCarthy, who was a basically bad deal maker and was removed in part because he became so toxic that the American people had enough of him. And so the Republican establishment needs to understand that we are sick and tired of squishy rhinos making backroom deals and then throwing their hands up in the air and saying, sorry. I don't know if anybody's going to primary Steve Womack. The filing is coming up in November. If you know anybody in the 3rd District, Northwest Arkansas area, tell them they need to file to run for office to kick him out. Of course, we'll have to make sure they don't reprogram the ESNS machines that are up there. But anyway, I'm going to call his office. I called his DC office. I got an answering machine. So I'm going to call, I think, his Bentonville office and try to see if I can reach him there. Give me just one moment. Uh-oh. That looks like a fax line. Well, sorry, folks. I got this from their website, by the way, so it looks like their website is screwed up. 1146. So the Bentonville number is out. Let me try what I think is a Fort Smith number. Yes, I am urging Steve Womack. This is Kenny Wallace. I am an Arkansas resident. I am outside his district. I am urging him to vote for Jim Jordan for Speaker of the House. I'm sorry, what did you say your name was? It was a little garbled.
My name is Mark.
Mark? Okay, Mark. Okay, Mark. I have kept up with what's going on at the United States House of Representatives, and I'm really just, I know that several GOP committees within his district have urged him to support Jim Jordan for Speaker of the House. And so I, along with most of America, would like for Steve Womack to vote for Jim Jordan for Speaker.
Yes, sir. I have, as of right now, I believe that Representative Jordan pulled out of having another vote today, and they are planning on trying to pass a resolution to give temporary Speaker McHenry the ability to have all the powers that the Speaker would have for a limited amount of time until they can get the votes for a Speaker nominee.
Okay, so basically because of Steve Womack and others, we lost the chance to get Jim Jordan as Speaker. Is that what you're telling me?
As of right now, yeah, Speaker Jordan has not withdrawn from his nomination, so yeah, I believe from what I've seen in the news and different things like that, he plans to try to put the votes before it would come back to the floor. And I'm not sure what the timetable on that is either. I don't know how long they're going to give McHenry and the power, or if it'll even pass through the House, but that seems like the next step of the party right now.
Okay. Now, I know Dave Elzick show has tried to reach out to his office to get him to show up to explain his actions. Can you tell me what the reason is for Steve Womack to not vote for Jim Jordan for Speaker of the House?
Yeah, Congressman Womack had some concerns with Speaker Jordan's leadership and how he would be able to unite the party. One of the things he touched on was Jordan's history of opposing any sort of compromise at all, and wanting to have someone in office who could pass through legislation and introduce legislation that the entire party could rally behind. And he felt like Representative Jordan would be the right guy for that job.
What specific example do you have of a compromise that Jim Jordan was allegedly opposed to?
I believe
be okay. Other compromises, like the amnesty that was tried under Bush Kennedy years ago and several since then, are actually scams. Had we had people like me and others not fought against the, I think it was 2006 amnesty, this nation would be completely destroyed by now. So, and on something like that, I really, certainly somebody answering the phone, I would think would be specific on what exactly is the issue, not just generalities. Yeah, that's very disturbing. And at this point, we need people that are not going to compromise on certain principles. I mean, I know Reagan had his 80-20 rule, but that doesn't. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that Jim Jordan was against that I would say would be, well, maybe we could compromise on. So, yeah, that doesn't seem like a reason. It seems like more the real reason is, wanting some kind of position of power or some other backroom deal that we don't know about. It just doesn't seem like there's a real specific. I mean, because if there was something specific, like a specific bill, you and probably everybody else would probably know about it. But it's kind of disturbing, and it's kind of looking like you might get a primary opponent there. I know that county committees, I know several of them have urged support for Jim Jordan. So I guess anyway, I assume, do you know if he's going to be on the Dave Ellswick show tomorrow, or what his schedule is, or?
As far as what his schedule is and where he's going to be?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so he's up in D.C. And I believe he'll be there tomorrow. I'm not sure what the plan on voting is. It looks like he'll be in D.C. through Friday.
Through Friday? Okay. I think he's going to call in. I think Dave Ellswick show is going to try to have him call in to talk about it. He's on 101.1 FM The Answer. Dave wasn't sure of a specific time. Do you know who I'm talking about, or what it is I'm talking about?
No, sir.
Okay, this is Dave Ellswick is a radio show host in Central Arkansas, but he does, of course, talk about issues that affect mainly the state and the world. And of course, with internet, of course, people within his can listen all over. But he has tried to reach out to Steve Womack. He said that he's never had a problem before, but I'll look forward to that and see what he says. But again, I would in addition to urging him to switch his vote, at least say the specific bill and reason why, not just a general, well, there's some compromises he didn't agree on, because that just sounds even worse. I mean, it's got to be something real specific. And that's pretty much what I was calling about, Mark. But if there is nothing else, other than that, you have a good day.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye. Wow. Folks, this is one of the problems I have when politicians do something and they're deliberately vague. That's usually a red flag that there's another issue going on. There were some compromises. Appropriations bills. He won't even name the specific one. And no offense, but that's spending bills, by the way. Government spending. Typically what happens is a bill with appropriations is there's a bill that's supposed to be sent on, let's say, fixing a road, but then in order to get somebody else's votes, you got to you got to set aside some of those funds for a bike trail in somebody's district, or a walk path, or some monument. And that's most likely what this is about. It's an extortion racket at our tax dollar expense. It usually goes to some green energy scam, a carbon reduction scam. Well, anyway, that was the I think that was the Fort Smith office, if I'm not mistaken, that last call. Yeah, I think that was 479-424-1146. So So if you'd like to call that number and chat with Mark and try to get some more details about why Steve Womack is not voting for a conservative for speaker, there you go. Knock yourself out. Anyway, as I said before, I got errands to do, so I will let you all go. Follow me at Just the Right Angle. Rumble, YouTube, Podbean, and on Facebook. This video will be uploaded there. It should be later on today. And then I'll enjoy some non-political stuff. But y'all take care.